Hello everybody, and I hope you're having a fantastic day, and in this video I'm going to be talking about the treasure spawn that just came out. I am sorry for the noise in the background. Unfortunately, you're gonna have to deal with it for now, but this usually won't happen ever. This is like the first time it ever really happened to my channel, if not like a couple times. But anyways, moving on from there, if you even hear it, to be fairly honest. Okay, so right here we have the new monster, so let's actually talk about the monster. We can talk about the gear, then we can actually get into the spawn and what's so not. Okay, so we got Force Delivery Girl, Shelta. Oh yeah, Coliseum is out, by the way, so this is a great Coliseum monster. It heals only once, so I mean, it's a heal, to be fairly honest. It doesn't do any damage, sadly, but it does do that. And then it removes buffs from all enemies. Very nice right there. Removes damage, reflection, continuous healing, and damage reduction effects from all enemies. So it's removing even more stuff than originally thought of or originally planned. It's also reducing ability cooldown times, great for DPS, increased use to gouge gains of all allies by 3. It's a nice combo with the reduced ability time, because when you're attacking, you're going to be getting Unison gouge, and you're going to be getting more Unison gouge off your attack since it's a Unison, something that helps with Unison gouge, so you're getting even more. That's a great combo right there. Recover 20 cost for all allies, even a greater combo right there, because cost allows you to use more attacks, now where you're getting more Unison. Then this only applies Awakening Standby mode to yourself, so that kind of sucks. But then we cast Deconstructive Collapse. Deconstructive Collapse is back. Deconstructive Collapse nullifies all buffs on the enemy's field for 60 seconds. So it removes buffs, removes damage reflection, continuous healing, and damage reduction effects from all enemies, and then it leaves you with a nullifies all buffs. Deconstructive Collapse. So right there, that is really nasty, to be fairly honest. Now, I'm not going to say once you throw this monster out, the team is doomed, because that's not the case, to be fairly honest. And some things like Hero and what's not, like encrypted buffs like Hero, they don't really get affected, to be fairly honest. They really don't, to be fairly honest, because Hero is not really something that's supposed to be affected whatsoever. There are some glitches where you can like say for example Awakening. If you do Awakening before Hero, it's gonna get nullified, but if you do Awakening after Hero, it doesn't get nullified. It's really weird. But anyways, moving on from there, encrypted buffs like that won't really be affected by this, but for the most part, when it comes to buffs and what's not, this monster just destroys everything. So this monster doesn't really have attack to really damage the enemy, but if the enemy's building up with stuff like Madia and other buffs like that, this monster just demolishes them. It destroys all hope and everything. And this is 37 cost, so this is an up-to-date monster right now. This is the second 37 cost, I believe, monster we actually have out now. So yes, this monster is going to be up-to-date for a while, if not already, like, it's up-to-date. So yeah. Right here is a pretty dang nasty monster for stuff like guild battles, possibly, where you're going to be seeing Madias. Like, if you're endgame like me, you're going to be seeing a lot of Madias, to be fairly honest. Seriously, like, we see, like, when we fight Grand Tourney guilds, they have Madias. There's no way they're not having Madias. They all have at least, like, 2 to 3 Madias, if not. So, yeah, very nice, to be fairly honest, under that circumstance, situation, and what's not. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this monster. Would I say this is good for player versus enemy? I'd say this is fairly good for player versus enemy. For some reason, Deconstructive Collapse isn't as effective as it should be in player versus enemy, right? I have a guildmate. She has actually Scar, right? And it has Deconstructive Collapse. This is the first monster that ever got Deconstructive Collapse. She used Deconstructive Collapse and it happened within like player versus enemy, but for some reason, like, it wasn't as effective as it should be. It was guild raids, so maybe there's like a glitch or bug, something with them, but seriously, like, monsters were still able to buff themselves, and that was really, I'm not sure if they cast Kismet on themselves like 24/7 or something, but other than that, I can't really see how with Deconstructive Collapse on the field they can buff themselves. So I'm not 100% sure about player versus enemy, because in guild raids it didn't really work out for me. Maybe it's a bug, maybe it's a glitch, maybe a team needs to look into this matter. But yeah, Deconstructive Collapse, I personally think, just like looking at it, nullifying all buffs, this would be a great player versus enemy field debuff as well. But I can't really vouch for it because we already tried it and it didn't really work out, to be fairly honest. And then it's got other stuff like increased use of gouge gains or costs, covers 20 costs, and reducibility cooldown times, and it heals to really help out with the team. If not, like, if like the enemy doesn't have like damage reflection, continuous healing, and damage reduction effects. So yeah, this is a pretty good player versus enemy monster as well. Definitely excellent for player versus player if you're dealing with really end game guilds, to be fairly honest, but definitely a nice player versus enemy monster as well. So yeah, that's pretty much covering this monster. Okay, so let's actually get into the gear. I just realized this whole time that I've been talking, I really haven't gone to the details so I could actually show you. Okay, so we got the exclusive skills coming back on the 36 cost. The soldier / rook exclusive skill, chance to ignore 50% of target's defense, magic defense, massively increase damage, pretty much like a physical testament, except that has like that bonus ability. And then we got Executioner's Pride, and what's not? We got Sniper's Pride right here, 50% chance to ignore the target's defense and magic defense. We got Mystical Staff. We got all these exclusive skills. These exclusive skills are definitely pretty good, especially like the Sniper's Pride and the Mine Eyes Pride. Those are definitely the best. Executioner's Pride would probably be the worst, to be fairly honest, because Lancers could get that without like having to need like Executioner's Pride. There's many actual like skills out there that actually like have a bonus to break besides that one, so that's not really all that good. And then Avenger's Pride's not bad either. And then Seeker's Pride, I mean, I personally don't think a Cleric's going to be a DPS. Rook, maybe this is going to be useful. But anyways, moving on from there, exclusive skills have a bit of a lower proc rate. I'm not going to say they won't proc at all. You will see them proc at least a couple times within a mission or a match if it isn't like extremely long. Like per se, for example, I'm 800k, right? I'm 800 and actually, hold on, I'm actually on my wrong set. Okay, so I'm actually like 833k, right? And if I were to do 836, whatever, if I were to go like normal missions, right, and I were to do like the last one right here, Monkey or Man, I would see it proc at least a couple times, to be fairly honest. Like, even if I was doing it with people, I would see it proc a couple times, to be fairly honest. I see it proc a couple times during guild battle, and I personally don't have mine, to be fairly honest, at all, like to the 6 infusion. I decided to say screw infusion for 35 cost since they have 36 cost out. So yeah, personally, like class exclusive skills don't have like all too great proc rate. They do proc, but they're not like really like, their proc rate isn't phenomenal, to be fairly honest. And on top of it, the ones that have like the 50% chance to ignore target's defense and magic defense, you can't stack that skill. You can stack the massively increased physical and magical damage when using the ability, but like said, that's like the testaments at that point. That's legitimately like the testaments. So yeah, they're helpful abilities, but they're not top tier for damage either. Stuff like Fatal Testament, and then like stuff that recovers cost, and then like does the testaments as well, would be better choices. Instead, you definitely can use this. Not a bad skill, but it's not like the best skill in the game, and there are other better options out there, to be fairly honest. And it's okay, I'm gonna cut that part as well. Okay, so moving on from there, we have the armor down here. It has opening skill that pretty much nullifies when used Scotch reduction effect for the first 52 seconds of battle. This right here would be pretty much exclusive and exclusive only to duel rooms and coliseums, and that'd be literally it. That's literally it. Unless you're speed running a guild battle, there is no way in heck that this is going to last long enough to actually help you in guild battle, to be fairly honest. So I can't really vouch for this for guild battle whatsoever, because it takes 30 seconds perhaps to say to actually get past the points of crystal recovery or crystal assault, to be fairly honest. If not, the window of opportunity between before and after is like what, 3 seconds? So that's literally like 40 seconds down the drain already. These like armors right here can be used in guild battles, right? And sometimes it's going to be helpful in guild battles, but for the most part, when it comes to guild battles, right, that like you're going to have to rush really fast. So I can't really vouch for this for guild battles, because again, it's really like, it's an opening skill, to be fairly honest. By the time it's actually going to be like super duper useful, right, it's probably already gone. Like the actual opening skill, the timer already ran out. So it's 36 cost. It offers good stats, and I could see it being used in duel rooms and coliseum. It can be used in those, but other than that, I can't really see it. And it has like decent gear score, because it's gonna be like the it has the highest cost right now. 37 cost is the highest cost, so it's gonna have the highest amount of gear score to give you for each piece. Okay, so moving on from there, let's actually go over the spawn. Okay, so for the spawn, 52,200. You're also spawning, you're also getting a chest. Obviously they have the double chances like usual. They have the gear in here, but considering that it's so low, it's ridiculous. It's not even worth mentioning that they have the gear in here. You might as well be like scratching all of this off, because it's near dang impossible to obtain any of it within the gear spawn alone. Instead, you're going to have to do jackpots and getting enough medals to actually obtain them. And with jackpots, right, I just want to let everybody know that's new to this channel, summoning scrolls will have the lowest rates out of everything in the jackpot. Absolutely, summoning scrolls will have the lowest rates. Newly added gear, you'll get occasionally, like every 1 out of 3 jackpots or every 1 out of 4 jackpots would usually be around how much it would take to even get a random piece of the featured gear. But yeah, like for the most part, you're getting 1k medals. But anyways, moving on from there. I got 1k medals in the jackpot, 600 one of the side chests, and 400 one of the side chests. Personally, I'm really liking that option, and on top of it, they have a chance to get 2 drops of ether or 2 awakening orbs. That is right there is really nasty, to be fairly honest. This, like, A-team, please keep this up. Seriously, I didn't like those other treasure spawns, the divine grace spawns you did. Those were absolutely nasty. Like, nobody absolutely liked them. Please do this from now on, because seriously, you're making your spawns a lot better for a majority of us if you do something like this, because it's easy. It's well, I'm not gonna say it's 100% easy, right? But it's like 1k medals per jackpot. Count me in, to be fairly honest. That's a pretty dang good deal, to be fairly honest. Please keep this up. If you're watching this, please don't ruin this. Seriously, we don't need more pay to win than it already is. It's already bad enough as it is pay to win wise. So please don't do that to us. Seriously, I'm begging yes. I'm begging yes. But yeah, they got 600 the side chest, 400 were the side chest, and then 1k in the jackpot. So that's a pretty decent amount of medals, to be fairly honest. That legitimately is a decent amount of medals, to be fairly honest. So yeah, not a bad amount of medals. And then the exchange, the prices for the stuff, okay, that's not bad. They have the 35 cost summoning scrolls. So if you're actually looking to get a Nomi summoning scroll, they have it for 9k, and the other one, this one, they actually have it for 7.5k, and you're getting a lot more medals. Same for Venus over here. So that's very, very nice that they're actually raising them to be more costs. Like, they're reducing the cost, which that should be the case. They shouldn't be like 9k or like 10k, to be fairly honest. 8k, personally, I think it's still a bit expensive, but considering how much you push your standards, 7.5k is not a bad amount for 35 costs. It really isn't, to be fairly honest, like whatsoever. So that's very, very nice. They have 10k right here for the actual like monster. SSR guarantee ticket is SSR guarantee ticket, so it can range from anywhere from like the lowest cost of URs in the game or SSRs in the game to like the highest. Or not the highest, because they won't have the highest in there, but it'll be like 32s or 33s like as the highest cap that they actually have for the SSR guarantee ticket. Anyways, moving on from there, it looks like they might have added more medals, but they're bumping up the price a little for the gear. Not too much of a fan, to be fairly honest, with them doing this, but yeah, they're doing it, so it's here. It's 2.5k to actually obtain some of the stuff, to be fairly honest. So all you really have to do is get 1 side chest and 2 jackpots, and boom, you're legitimately getting 1 piece of these gears. So that's not bad at all. That's legitimately not bad, because that doesn't take too much effort. It takes a little bit extra, but it doesn't take too much effort to get even just 1 piece of gear, to be fairly honest. Which I'm probably going to be doing from now on, because I finally, once I actually show you my actual video of me spawning, I finally got a hero monster archer stats. I managed to pull out a Lancelot from the jackpot, if she's like even here, to be fairly honest. I cannot find her for the love of me. There she is. She's right here. I managed to pull Lancelot from the jackpot. That's a hero monster archer stats, and I have Cecily down here archer stats as well. So I'm completely 100% happy. I finally got the monsters I needed, and I'm legitimately chilling on all of that. Seriously, I don't have to go super whale or anything stupid, because when you watch the video, you look at my gem count, right? It's stupid. But anyways, moving on from there, yeah, and then they have some of the lower stuff, like the 31 cost stuff and all that, actually, like with the 1.2k medals. So if you, all it takes is like a jackpot, legitimately, if you like spawn twice or spawn 3 times, you're gonna get 50 to 200 medals per spawn. So you really only need to spawn like twice plus hit a jackpot to actually obtain this stuff. I'm not gonna say this stuff is worth it, to be fairly honest, but some of the skills, some of the side skills might be good for later, and it offers elements, so maybe this stuff might be later like useful like down the road when you're dealing with elements like orientated stuff, because it has like stuff that can replace the attack and what's not. And if you don't have damage reflection reduction gear to really counteract barrier, it is right here, and it is pretty cheap, 1.2k to actually obtain some reflection reduction gear to that, so that way you can sort of like bypass barrier, to be fairly honest. If you have 2 of these stacked right, if it's a 50% barrier, I believe, or lower, I'm not sure about 10 like 100%, but if it's a 50% barrier or lower, you're going to be literally taking 1 damage to yourself, so that's very, very nice. So yeah, oh yeah, so that's pretty much it to sum up this video. Definitely a nice monster. I would definitely grab it. It's pretty good for player versus enemy, definitely very useful for guild battles and player versus player. And then the gear right here, it's good gear score. That's really what I could say most about it. It has some decent skills, definitely, but pretty much it's good gear score. It's honestly good gear score. That's pretty much all I could say for it. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. Thank you for tuning in, thank you for watching, and I hope this helped out. This is the AzureWrath, and I'll catch you in the next video. I'm out. Peace.